White Sox team can have a really decent season in a really bad division. That's what you guys have to remember. It's a really bad division.
It is.
That's
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You have your scab-eating OC holding you back, calling 2 of the same screenplays in a row during one game, and having you throw 2 passes, which I was corrected by, 1 pass in the 4th quarter of a game you were the best player in. Fight me!
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. Bullshit.
a good organization would do. But this is the Bears, not a good organization. So they're going to keep Ryan Poles.
Why?
We just feel our disappointment. That's all.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
difference
that.
between the Bears and the Bears.
Yeah, we do it. We do it when it's still warm outside.
Right, yeah.
We can get out like October, beginning November. Still like 50, 60 degrees. Nowadays, it's still like 70 degrees.
And that way, during the winter, we're still so angry that everything's warm.
That we're still so angry, but it's cold outside. Well, you know what? It's warm outside, and we're still frickin' angry. Your boy Brandon Combs, along with my guy Ryan Fitzgibbons. I can't believe we are here again. I can't believe we are here again.
Are we 0-5 already?
It's
It feels like we lost more than one game on Monday night.
It wasn't even, man, look, it wasn't even the way that they lost, because I don't, it's not that I don't care that they lost. I do care that they lost, but I'm not shocked that they lost against the Minnesota Vikings. But it's the way things developed or didn't develop, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, that it concerns me. It concerns me. I'm very concerned for what I saw in week 1. And now that could all change today. The Bears could go out today and look really good versus Detroit. They do have Jalen Johnson back. The defense looks a little bit healthier. Maybe it changes today. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. We're going to talk
here. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're going to talk Bears today. We might even talk a little bit of Cubs because there's some stuff to talk about with the Cubs. But it's going to be mostly Bears today. We got about an hour before kickoff. I mean, I don't know, man. I know you've got something you were talking about before the show. You got something. We were talking about Caleb last season. I believe you put this out there.
This was actually before, right around the combine.
Okay.
As you remember, he skipped the combine pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out about that right now. If you've read the Tyler Dunn article that's out there about some of the dysfunction around the team, around him, but just what were our concerns back then and how that compares to now. Shall we go back in time, Combs?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
You just can't. You just had that ready. You're just a child.
Good call.
I think that the people that are telling you that Caleb Williams is going to be a Hall of Famer, like this kid is, instead of getting a cap on draft night to wear his team's cap, he's going to get the yellow jacket on draft night. That's what my concern is, because what you're doing is you're putting the expectations so high that anything less is a bust. And that's the problem. That was the problem with Trevor Lawrence. By the Yahoo on 670 The Score in the morning, telling me that Patrick Mahomes is a souped up version of Caleb Williams. Are you out of your mind? Like, you can't. So if you're going to compare him to Caleb Williams, I need to see 4 NFC championships in the next 6 years.
My only fear is that he's a little bit better than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Then I have a problem there, because you're going to have a longer runway. Because first of all, he doesn't have the experiences that Justin Fields has had the last 3 years. He doesn't have
Right.
any of those. Plus, you get far less picks. This was never once a pick between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. This was a pick between Justin Fields and 4 other draft picks. And then versus Caleb Williams. That's what that's us. That's us a year and a half ago.
The Yahoo on 670, and now I work there.
Maybe I shouldn't have played that. But
Oh God, I remember who it was. Danny Parkins too, who no longer works there and is now a national television host. Yeah, I mean, we were right so far.
I mean, Justin Fields not too bad. 72% completion, 218 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, QB rating of 119 with the Jets. Arguably a lesser offense, arguably. You can
Yeah,
make that argument. Caleb Williams, 60% completion rating, 210 yards, 1 passing, 1 rushing touchdown, 86% QB rating. I don't care what the comments are going to be, but don't think no one's going to be looking at these all year long.
yeah.
Don't think that the NFL world isn't going to be looking at it, especially if the Jets make the playoffs and the Bears don't. Jets looked way better. If it isn't for a couple of shuffle passes from Superman Aaron Rodgers, which if you look at his stats, yeah, he had a great game, but the shovel passes, whatever. People are going to be looking at these stats. I mean, if he's just as good as Justin Fields, it's probably the worst draft pick in the history of Bears football. It probably is. And one of the worst draft picks in the history of the NFL. I mean, I'm sorry, if he's the same player, if he's less than, we got a big problem.
I mean, I agree. AJ says Morningfeld's got to establish the run today, which I completely agree with.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but
Not that Ben Johnson was great in his first game. He was out coached.
Look, I talked to a couple of guys this week who cover the team, and I asked them specifically this question, and they both had the same answer, and it was this: is I don't get to see Caleb in practice. I didn't get to see him in training camp, and you guys were there every single day. Is Caleb's first half what you should expect, or is Caleb's fourth quarter what you should expect? And they both said Caleb's fourth quarter is what we saw all training camp long. And these were the concerns we had, and these were the concerns we expressed, and these were the concern that the team got mad about us writing about. If that's the case, one, Caleb's got a lot of work to do. He's a work in progress. I tweeted this out after the game on Monday. If Caleb is a work in progress, fine. But I've got 2 questions. One, how do you draft a work in progress number 1 in the draft? And 2, how do you want fans to be patient with the process when you've never given them a reason to believe that they can trust your process? Now, I get that it's a new head coach. I get that it's Ben Johnson. I get that we all believe everybody in the world wanted Ben Johnson to be their head coach. I understand that. And I'm willing to give this time. And I do think that Ben Johnson is the right guy. But is Ben Johnson going to draft another quarterback next year? Are we going to be looking at, because I don't think, and this, if Ben Johnson is the right guy, he's going to have to make a tough call in the next 4 or 5 weeks if this is the Caleb that we continue to see. If we continue to see a quarterback that can't hit guys wide open 15 yards downfield, that is trying to lead them on a fade route instead of just hitting them when they're open. Like that throw to DJ Moore out of the end zone. I get I saw all of the stuff. I saw Kurt Warner. I saw Fitzpatrick talk about, DJ Moore screwed that route up when he slows
something
down,
like that,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. But hit him when he's open. Drive the ball to him. You don't have to lead that one to the end zone, because I'll tell you right now, you lead that one to the corner of the end zone. That gave the safety time to catch up. It would have been a tougher catch. Get the ball to DJ Moore when he's open and let your playmakers make plays. So if this is the Caleb Williams that you're going to see, I don't think that that Ben Johnson is going to hesitate to pull the reins off of Caleb Williams and put it on Tyson Bagent. And maybe that's why they gave Bagent the extension that they did. Maybe Ben Johnson went to Ryan Poles and said, "Hey, look, I've watched this all training camp long. I get why you guys drafted him, but he's not it. And Bagent seems to be a better quarterback, a better fit right now.
Oh,
maybe come week 6, we have to make the move, and maybe week 6, Tyson Bagent's your quarterback, and then maybe in the draft we go a different route. I don't know, but I am concerned. Now, look, you see me wearing the jersey. I wore the jersey on purpose today. I want Caleb Williams to be successful. I want Caleb Williams to be the guy. I want Caleb Williams to be the franchise quarterback. I want Caleb Williams to be the first 4,000-yard passer in franchise history, because that's what I projected him to be. But if this is the Caleb Williams that we're going to see more often, because this is what the guys who cover the team every single week are seeing, I don't like it, man.
Go back to that clip. Go back to the clip. There was a reason why we're not going to play it again. There's a reason why I played that clip. This was not supposed to be a wait and see quarterback. This is not why you draft a quarterback number 1 overall. This is don't panic bullshit. Fuck off. I'm not panic. I'm not waiting another few years. I'm not. I'm in my goddamn 40s now. They've had one winning season in a decade. Jeremiah, Jesus Christ. Let's all jump off the building after one game against really good defense. How did Jaden Daniels do? How did Bo Nix do? Let it play out. Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, playoffs.
Yes.
Both those players are probably going to the playoffs this year. I mean, Jaden Daniels deep in the playoffs last year. Don't tell me that crap anymore. This was about time. And how much time we were going to invest in this kid. He looks like a project now. He looks like a project that he's not going to be good until 2.5, 3 seasons in. Come on. More seasons. How dumb are we to let this happen again, that he's a project? And man, there is things he can do. I don't see any quarterbacks who can sprint like he can and throw a bullet to somebody. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. But JJ, I love the fed up Brian. How could you not be fed up? Especially if in 4 years, if in 4 or 5 years he's playing in an NFC championship game, I don't care. If in 4 or 5 years he's in an NFC championship game and he's a top 10 quarterback, I don't care. If Justin Fields is in the damn playoffs this year, which looks like a playoff team playing against a pretty good and improved Pittsburgh team who got a lucky fumble on a kickoff, or else they lose that game by more than probably a touchdown. I am sick and tired of sitting here and saying not to panic. Look at the Tyler Dunn article. You want me to read a couple of paragraphs about it? Because he sounds like fucking Jay Cutler. The most dramatic spectacle. This is from the Tyler Dunn article. You can look it up. He does a lot of good reporting here. It's a big article now. Some people might not have heard it. Just Google Tyler Dunn, Caleb Williams. The most and he goes on for this a couple paragraphs, and the most dramatic spectacle of them all occurred on December 26th of last year. His team was hosting the Seattle Seahawks. If you remember this Thursday night football game, commercials rolled during a timeout, so nobody at home saw this poignant moment that perfectly summarized the 24 Bears. In the wake of 2 firings, and yes, this is a lot of turmoil, and this is not what Tyler Dunn's saying, but Now back to the Tyler Dunn article. Heartbreaking defeat, staggering to the finish line of an agonizing 5-12 season. Interim head coach Thomas Brown tried to explain something to his starting quarterback, and no, Williams was not having it. An auto response kicked in, as he had done many times to many coaches all season. Williams turned his head and walked away. Now it's on about how Thomas Brown wouldn't take it, but unfazed, Williams sashayed away, just right back to the huddle.
But here's
my Brown said, "Get back here right now," and he walked away from him. Like,
here's my question, and this is why I don't fly off the handle when it comes to this topic. Like, I share your concerns, but I also am willing to give it just a little, because I also understand that what Caleb went through last year is a process in which the Bears kind of broke him a little bit. And that's on the Bears more than it's on Caleb. Because when you don't go out, and when you know you're going to have the number 1 overall pick and you're picking a franchise quarterback, and you don't go out and get the head coach that is going to groom him, instead you let him sit with a lame duck head coach with an atrocious offensive coordinator, and now he's on his 4th guy calling plays, and he's only 1 game into his 2nd year. That's where I give it a little bit of grace. Like, okay, let's see what this looks like going into week 2 and into week 3. I want to see some stuff, but it is a lot shorter of a leash than it was, because what this has been promoted to be. You drafted this kid number 1 overall. That's not saying that this kid is going to get the 2 to 3 years to progress as a quarterback. You didn't see that with Jaden Daniels in Washington. And we can talk all we want about bad organizations. Washington was a dumpster fire of an organization heading into last season. You can talk about all you want about Bo Nix, right? Bo Nix got Sean Payton. They went to the playoffs. They didn't look great in their first couple of starts. I mean, that is true. But you have to be willing to take that into account. And I want him to throw for 300+ yards. I want him to throw the 4+, 5+ touchdown games. I want him to look like, the the goofball on 670 The Score who said that he was
a Hall of Famer.
That said he was
always like Patrick Mahomes,
a juiced up Patrick Mahomes. Like, I want to see that. Like, I want to see that come out of him. I was just concerned on what I saw when you have guys open. I saw the throw down the sidelines. As a matter of fact, I texted you right after that throw down the sidelines. And what did I say? I'm hard right now.
Yeah.
Because I saw that throw and I was like, oh God, I like that. Then even the one that Odunze didn't catch, that Odunze had to leap for and he didn't catch. It should have been a catch because it hit him in the hands. Even though he had to jump, it was a high degree of difficulty. So not a ton of blame there, but it was the only spot that Caleb could put the ball in that situation between 2 defenders. Another good throw. But it's these ones where the guys are wide open. The screen route that he threw 3 feet short, that would have been a first down if he hits Odunze in the chest. The one down the field to DJ Moore, a couple of more down. He was 10 for 10 in the first half, but he was 11 for 25 the rest of the way. You know what I mean? So, because you finished 21 of 36, so you went from 10 and 10 to 11 for 25. Did you just take an edible? What just happened?
Hayden walked into the room. My son walked into the room.
I was like, what the hell just happened? The edible kick in mid-sentence? I don't know what the hell just happened. But no, I need to see Caleb progress, because what I saw in the first half was really good. I was talking with the guys that were doing the Bears pregame at 670, because I was working on Monday night as well. And after the first half, I walked into the hallway and I was talking with the guys and I was like, I like what I see. I see him reading progressions. There's a lot of check downs. There's a lot of but then when I see the all 22 and I'm like, you got guys open. Why are you checking down?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
what are you seeing? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I don't know. That's why, like, I'm not in the quarterback room with them going over tape. So I don't know what Caleb's answer is to that when you say, hey, what did you see here? That's what I would love to know. I would love to know what Caleb's looking at,
Well,
because to me, when I watch this tape, what I think, because it's the only thing I can go off of, is what I think and what I assume. What I think is his internal clock is off because of last year and because of the offensive line he had. He's afraid he's about to get hit from the left side. He's afraid that there's somebody behind him that he doesn't see. So his internal clock is off. And that's something that might take a little bit of time to coach out of him. And that part I understand. So if that is the case, then that is what needs to be coached out of him. And that is fine. But if you're telling me I checked down because I didn't see him downfield, that's a problem.
and you said that there was some concerns in training camp. I won't go back to the article again, but Tyler Dunn said a lot of it, that even remedial tasks he couldn't do. Doubting Thomas says you boys used up all your grace on Justin Fields. That could be it. And Jeremiah says Ryden Combs
Gibbons.
Thanks, Jeremiah. We're not the same person.
Corey says I prefer sick and tired Ryan over the fed up Ryan. He's more empathetic.
You might be right.
Then AJ, look at the Bears. Yes, the first 15, the scripted 15, looked really, really good. But that's my concern.
That's the point. That in the Tyler Dunn article, he said remedial task Caleb Williams couldn't do, like even a hike. And think back on the beginning of that game too, or into that game in the first and second quarter after those scripted plays, he couldn't even get a play in. And they talk about him in training camp, not even being able to read in the play and being confused. And you can't have that. Like, a quarterback has to be able to do those little things and be able to smooth those out early in his career. He's got to be able to do that. And that's not happening. And that is worrying. I mean, that's just worrying to me. And
that's
like,
the thing. You have to be able to go off script. You have to know what's coming after the first 15. After your scripted plays are done, you have to be able to process, and that's what worries me about Caleb.
Yeah, and like I'm sorry, I want more glimmers of a guy who can play in the pocket, of a guy who can play in a rhythm of an offense. I want more stuff like that right now. I was supposed to get more stuff like that right now. Not get rid of a QB that looked pretty good. I mean, whatever. If you hate Justin Fields, I don't give a shit anymore. It looked a lot better for the Jets than it did the Bears, like 1,000 times better. And I'm sorry, that could just be a fan's look. I could be wrong. I am not an expert, but anybody in the league will tell you that it looked a lot better. And we don't have that right now. And it's, oh, wait, don't panic. Wait another 3 years. What football team takes 7 years to rebuild a team? I mean, what is this? Ryan Poles year 4? So what? We're going to wait till year 6 for him to rebuild a football team? This isn't 1989. Nobody rebuilds a football team in fucking 2 presidential terms. It doesn't take that long to rebuild a football team. And I'm sorry I'm getting so angry. I'm sorry I'm getting so flustered, but I went back to some of the videos of what we were talking about a year and a half ago. And sometimes you got to do that of how you thought back then. And all the time we waste talking about this stupid organization.
Well, you put so much on the offense though, Fitzy. Like they had a 17-6 lead against a quarterback playing his first game in the NFL who looked like he didn't even know how to throw a forward pass in the first half. And then he came down and just made he picked apart the defense in the fourth quarter. That part can't happen either. Like this isn't just about, because I mean they scored 24 points. The defense held the Vikings down for the first.
How much time did the Bears offense have the ball in that game?
I know. There was a lot of 3 and outs, but the defense was probably tired in the fourth quarter. I get that part, but you still can't blow an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter though. You can't. You got to be able to pick your offense up too. And I understand they were having trouble getting first downs. And I didn't like the game plan either. There was a lot of play calls that I didn't necessarily agree with until I went back and watched the All-22. And I was like, damn, this was actually a pretty damn good game plan because guys were open left and right. They just weren't being hit. But the defense still gave up that added that 17-6 lead. And when you let JJ McCarthy score 21 straight unanswered points on you, I have a problem with the defense too.
They can't play complementary football. Well, that's true. They haven't been able to do that in quite some time. I mean, I'm not going to belabor the point. It's been said already, but you can't. I mean, you only have so much time as a GM in almost any other sport and almost any other organization in the league, except for this one. Is it maybe because we keep rotating our QBs and coaches? So Justin looked better game one with the Jets after 2 years away from the boost we have. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that is a good point. I mean, Ben Johnson is the coach starting last year. Maybe this looks a lot different.
Yeah,
I'll give Caleb Williams slack. It's just like Doubting Thomas said, I gave up all my grace. I gave up all my slack to this organization already. It should not take this long. You should not get this lucky with all the picks they got, with Carolina being the worst team in the league. When they made the trade with Carolina and Carolina picked up Bryce Young a few years ago, Carolina had what did they have? Like the 10th pick. They weren't a bad team the year before. They weren't a good team, but they weren't a bad team. And then they get the number 1 pick in the draft from Carolina, and they get DJ Moore. And they get all these other picks. They get a high 2nd round pick this year in Luther Burden, who I'm sorry looked small. He looked small. He had a good kickoff return. Great.
Yeah, that could have been used on a running back. Not gonna lie.
I
At first I was okay with the pick, and then when I saw on Monday night was the Bears don't have a run game because they don't have a running back. And Kyle Monungai might be their best option. He was picked in the 7th round. Could you imagine what your team looks like differently if you trade back up into the 1st round like I was screaming for to take Omari and Hampton? Or if you miss on Omari and Hampton, if you take Travion Henderson.
Or maybe you're not handing the ball off to DJ Moore, you mean 2 or 3 times, or hiking it right directly to him?
Because they don't have anybody that can run through the tackles. You don't have a running back that can run through the tackles. So what are you going to do? But this is the roster you were given. And Ben Johnson, look, I think over time he's going to be able to overcome a lot of them because after I watched that All-22, the game plan and the play calling was really, really good. It was really, really good. And that outcome of that game should have been better. The Bears should have had 40 points on Monday night. There were guys open left and right, almost on every down. And they just weren't being hit. And
Roschon Johnson's is back this game, so that might change a few things.
It should, because I like Roschon. You like Roschon. He could be a guy that runs through the but they have to use him properly.
40 points for that. Shad on Sports. Welcome, Shad, to the conversation. Roschon Johnson is back. Thanks, Jeremiah. We were thinking the same thing. Yeah, I mean, but is he good enough? I mean, we're going to see this year. I mean, a lot rests on his back. And like I said, Luther Burton looks small to me on the field. He did not look effective. He's got some speed, but it seems a little redundant. For the wide receiver room that they have right now, unless they think there's going to be some kind of shakeup here. Obviously, DJ Moore, it seems, made a few mistakes, and maybe he's not as effective as we thought, but he gets open a lot.
I disagree with AJ. I don't think not that I disagree. All right, Swift is still a quality running back. He doesn't fit the system. And that's why Ben Johnson got rid of him in Detroit. I watched it again on Monday night. He doesn't fit the system. They have to do something at the running back room. DeAndre Swift will not and cannot be the Bears running back past the trade deadline. Can't be. You have nobody that can run between the you need a guy that can consistently run between the tackles. I think it's Roschon Johnson. I might be wrong. He can't stay healthy either. Roschon can't. So that's going to be a concern as well. You need a guy that can carry the ball 15 times between the tackles.
Yeah. I have nothing wrong with DeAndre Swift. You're right. If you got a guy who's, a top, you don't need a lot, maybe a top 20 between the tackles back, something like that.
Were you okay giving up more picks moving back in the first round? Yes, I was. I wanted the Bears to give up. I wanted them to give up both of their seconds to move back up into the first to get Omari and Hampton. I said that on draft night. That's exactly what I wanted. And then when they didn't do it, I was like, okay, you can still take Travion Henderson with your first pick, and then they traded, and then they kept trading, and I'm like, what are we doing? You take the wide receiver, great, but what are you doing? You got Roma Dunze, you've got DJ Moore, you've got all these guys that you started building with, and now you're going with another weapon. And at first I was like, all right, well, let's see, maybe Ben Johnson sees something in this kid.
Took two guys in the
running back is a problem.
You took two guys in the second round that weren't really on the field last night. That's what you did.
Yeah.
And for a team that you want, I don't want to use the word contend, but I lack the vocabulary to come up with another word right now. But if you want to contend, if you wanted to contend this year, you don't take two guys in the second round who are not really significant players and don't look like they're going to be significant players this year.
Yeah.
I don't think. Do you think they're going to be significant players this year? I mean,
I think Trapillo will be. I think Ozzie will be. Luther Burden, I'm a little bit. I'm expecting a better year from Odunze, and maybe Luther Burden becomes more of a weapon down. As you get more time under his belt. But I do think Trapillo will be a player. I just don't expect the offensive line to stay healthy. Shadow on Sports has a great point. That Minnesota defensive front five was a top five. Detroit not as strong means better production between the tackles. That could be a thing too. I mean, look, you were going up against a really good defense with a really good defensive coach, but Ben Johnson had owned him. Ben Johnson, I believe the stat that kept getting thrown out on BetMGM tonight was only 7 times has he allowed over 30 points, and 5 of those times have been to Ben Johnson offenses. So I get it, and again, they should have scored more points. They left points on the board, but I felt like for 3 quarters the Bears did what they needed to do to win a game. In the fourth quarter, they did not.
If you were going to get Zacchaeus, though, and I hate to go back to Luther Burden, why are you drafting Luther Burden then? Because it seems like the same player.
It didn't make sense to me.
I mean, why are you? It's a second round pick.
Shad says Ryan Poles a duplicate drafter of the multiverse. I don't know if I could put that on Ryan Poles though, right? Because that seemed like it was we all at the time when it was made, we all credited Ryan Poles for allowing Ben Johnson to make his picks. Because you got an offensive minded head coach. I thought for sure that's a Ben Johnson pick more than it is a Ryan Poles pick, the Luther Burden pick. And the reason why they ended up with Colston Loveland is because all of the tackles get taken ahead of them because everybody knew they were going to take a tackle. And all 4 of them get taken before the Bears even get a chance to pick. And they don't get a chance to trade up because Jacksonville trades up to 2 to go get welcome.
You're now covering the Chicago Bears socks. Or the Chicago White Bears. Because who's running the team?
Yeah.
Once again, who is running the team?
Yeah.
Because I don't really know who's running the team. You got a president of operations who's, I don't even know. Are they building a stadium? Are they going to play in your backyard?
In Arlington Heights is where they're supposedly it's a done deal.
Will they be playing in your alley?
There's Chicago's no longer a thing. Well, they announced it, right?
Yes, they've announced it. I mean,
times.
this is like schizophrenic at this point that they've announced it. Who knows where he's at in some of the decision making here? You got Ryan Poles. Okay, he didn't take Luther Burden. Okay, so the GM isn't making picks now. Ben Johnson is, who just came on the scene. Any wages we like today? Maybe we should move on because I might need to breathe in a brown bag for a little while. Here.
Well, there are some, like, I love the Bears today plus 6.5. When it dropped at 6 at a 6-point spread, I immediately texted Ryan Horvat and I said, I feel like that's a joke of a spread. Like, I plus 6 for the Bears, I think you have to hammer that, right? And now it's up to 6.5. It might even be up to 7 now. I haven't really looked in like the last half hour, but it was up to 6.5. I'm slamming the Bears on with the points today. I also, like the the under in the game today, the total under, which I believe is set at 47. Could be down now too. But I like that under as well in this game. And I would venture to say, I know I let my wife make a couple of plays today, and she liked the Bears on the money line plus 200. So I don't. We'll see how great of a call that was, but yeah, that's what I like in the Bears game. I like some other wagers too in today's game. Like, I think CMC 2+ touchdowns is a great play. I think he's going to score a couple of touchdowns. So CMC plus 2 touchdowns. What's going on, Aiden? See Aiden in the screen now. So 2+ touchdowns for CMC.
You see Brandon.
Hi, Aiden.
Do you want to say who do you think the Bears are going to win today? What's your wager? Yes or no? Oh God,
I don't know.
you don't know? He's hesitating.
He
my-
watched Caleb Williams on Monday night too.
Say hi to Brandon.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
Love you.
But no, I like CMC 2+ touchdowns today. I like there's quite a few out there that I like. There's not a whole lot of overs I like. There's a few unders. I'm under in the Patriots game. I am under in the you only like CMC 2+ touchdowns because no, I like CMC 2+ touchdowns today because Mac Jones is the starting quarterback. Mac Jones is the starting quarterback, so CMC is going to see the ball a ton today, out of the backfield and catching the ball out of the backfield. That's why I like CMC 2+ touchdowns today. I actually forgot that I had him in the fantasy team because I was more focused on my bets. But I like I'm looking at my bet slip now as we speak.
Oh, what an exciting show. You're looking up your bet slip.
I have the Eagles.
You're gambling. Sorry, our podcast got in the way of your disease.
It was a question from the crowd. My God, the audience asked for it, and I'm giving it to them. Got the Eagles under 52.5 against the Chiefs. Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown. Marquise Brown under 5.5 receptions. I like the under in the Patriots Dolphins, the under in the Dolphins or in the Jets Bills, the under in the Giants Cowboys, and the under in the Broncos Colts.
Doubting Thomas got the Bears first half plus 3.5 with Cowboys, ML, and Cardinals. ML.
Just tell us the games you didn't bet. Doubting Thomas Bears won first half plus 3.5, and the Cowboys money line, Cardinals money line. All right, I like the Bears first half too. I like the Bears in this game, to be honest with you. The plus 6.5 is crazy.
This team and both teams are similar in the players they have. Somehow the Bears last 2 years, maybe even last 3 years, play Detroit really well. Just whatever players they have seem to play well with against this Detroit team, and it isn't just luck. I mean, look at the games. The Bears won 3.5 quarters against this team many times. They just had trouble with that last half of the quarter.
Except for last year at Soldier Field when Detroit came in and whooped our ass. But
yeah.
That's the anomaly, though.
Yeah. But beat Detroit last year.
Yeah.
year before too. So and should have beat them twice. Should have actually swept them 2 years ago, but did not.
Yeah,
That was another fourth quarter debacle by
it
Eberflus.
was. It was.
But
Did you want to do our picks against the spread?
picks.
All right. All right, we'll do picks and then we'll get into Cubs before we get the hell out of here. Picks against the spread. Let's start off with Bears Lions. Bears plus 6.5. Lions 6.5-point favorite in Detroit. I just told you I'm going Bears plus 6.5. It's too many points for me to give up.
I'm taking the Lions.
You're taking the Lions. All right.
Yeah.
By the way, I was 9-4 last week. You were 8-5 last week. We both had good weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Lions until the Bears show me something else. And that's how I should have started the season. They're going to have to show me something else for a few weeks here before I pick on their side.
Okay.
I think. Depending on how the Lions, show.
Yeah.
But, on the
Jaguars, Bengals. Bengals minus 3.5 at Cincinnati. There's no way that I'm taking points and taking Jet. There's just no way. This is Cincinnati minus 3.5. I know the defense is bad, but I just don't trust what they have in Jacksonville. So I'll take Cincy minus 3.5.
Yeah. Cincinnati all the way. Best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
He didn't look very good last week.
No, he didn't. Good defense, though. But
it was a good defense, but yeah, did not look very good last week. All right. Cowboys, Giants in Dallas. Dallas is a 5.5-point favorite over the Giants.
Well, I hate the Giants, but it's hard to take Dallas. I hate Dallas too. I'll take Dallas.
All right, I'm gonna go Cowboys with the Giants with the points, but I the Cowboys are gonna win this game. I just think that the Giants can keep it. They're gonna have to, otherwise, if not, Jackson Dart is going to be the starter in Week 3 for the Giants. If this is,
you would think Russell Wilson.
Yeah. He might even be there halfway through this game if it's a stinker in the first half for the Giants. So we'll see. All right, Titans, Rams. Rams are a 5.5-point favorite in Tennessee.
You want to go first on this one?
I'm taking the Rams. I'll give up the points. There's just no talent around Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's going to be an okay quarterback in this league, but there's nothing around him. I think Tennessee's going to be really bad this year.
Yeah, and the Rams didn't look that bad last week.
No, their defense looked really good.
I'll take the Rams too. We're in agreement there.
All right, Patriots, Dolphins. You remember at the start of or during our picks last week, I told you Mike McDaniel would be fired during this season, and boy, did that make me look smart because the Dolphins looked atrocious versus the Colts last week. There is no way on God's green earth I can pick them, especially minus points. What are you kidding me? I get 1.5 points with the Patriots. Give me the Pats all day long.
Yeah, and Tyreek's going nuts over there.
In the first quarter. It was after the second drive he was already complaining.
He's going to have another house burned down if he doesn't settle down.
He's going to have 12 more kids after last week.
Yeah, I'll take the Patriots. Go Patriots, Junior, wherever you are.
All right. Niners, Saints. Niners are a 2.5-point favorite at New Orleans. This was a 7.5-point favorite until they announced that they would be without George Kittle and they would be without they would be without Brock Purdy. I still think that this team, I think CMC goes off today. I think he carries the team on his back. I think they win this. If they don't win this by more than a field goal, I'll be shocked. So I'll take the Niners minus 2.5.
Yeah, I don't. What, the New Orleans Saints? Spencer Rattler, is that their quarterback?
Yeah.
Made up name in Madden. Yeah, I gotta go Niners. They got a good team around them. Yeah. So move on.
Bills, Jets in New York. We talked about how good the Jets looked with Justin Field last week. They're going up against the Buffalo Bills, who looked like they made the Ravens looked like they were world beaters for 3.5 quarters, and then with 5 minutes ago they turned it on.
Sounds
They are
familiar.
5.5-point favorite in New York. Are the Bills? Where are you going with this one?
I'll go Jets.
You're going Jets plus 5.5.
Yep, Jets
All
plus 5.5.
I was gonna go Jets plus 5.5 as well, but I'm gonna go Buffalo, and I'll
Because
give up the points just to because you went Jets.
Yeah, just to be a contrarian.
Just to be a contrarian on that one. Because to me it's kind of a 50-50. The Bills could win by 70 or the Jets could keep it close. All right, Steelers Seahawks in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh a 3.5-point favorite against the Sam Darnold led Seahawks. You going with your boy Aaron Rodgers?
My boy.
That's your boy.
How dare you, sir? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers here. Vegas wants you to take the Pats.
Hmm.
Are you gonna go with your boy Aaron
I
Rodgers?
think that's what it means to be a well-balanced man, is to be able to tap into that divine feminine and be vulnerable.
Take the ayahuasca, Combs. Tap into your femininity.
I am going with Pittsburgh in this one because I don't believe in Sam Darnold without Kevin O'Connell. I said that last week, so I will go with the Pittsburgh
You look
Steelers.
smart with that too.
Yeah,
You had a good week last week. Me, not so much.
Browns Ravens. Ravens are an 11.5-point favorite against the Cleveland Browns in Baltimore. And they said that Derrick Henry was easy to tackle, who ran for 169 yards last week against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, people have been saying Derrick Henry's career is over for quite a while now.
Yeah.
People look dumb right now.
Yeah.
Still really fast. Still can run over people. Still pretty damn good. Still maybe the better version of Adrian Peterson. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
The Ravens, this is their revenge game. I mean, they're not going 0-2, and I know it's a very high spread. It's double digit.
Yeah.
I'm going Ravens.
This opened at 10. I was going to bet Baltimore, I was going to bet Cleveland. I liked Cleveland with their deal, and then they went and told Derrick Henry he was easy to tackle. He's going to run for 4,000 yards today, and he's going to touchdowns. So I will take the Baltimore Ravens, and I'll give up the points in that. I agree. Let's go Colts Broncos in Indy. The Daniel Jones juggernaut Colts.
Oh, God.
So good against the Miami Dolphins. They got the Broncos coming into Indy. Broncos are a 1.5-point road favorite. I'll go first on this one. I'm taking Denver, man. I believe in Denver. I don't believe so much in the Colts. I just think they went up against a dumpster fire of a Miami Dolphins organization.
Yeah, me too. Daniel Jones is not that good. He just isn't. It's already borne out. Like, he's not that good.
Yeah.
It's a really bad defense in Miami. And yeah, you're proving out that I think Mike McDaniels is the future offensive coordinator somewhere. If that, it could get really ugly if he starts drinking again. I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. Yeah, I got Broncos all day.
All right. My bad take of the week last week was that the Panthers were going to win the NFC South. And then Bryce Young showed up looking like Bryce Young of early last
like he's 5'8".
Yeah. Going up against a quarterback who's only 5'6", in Kyler Murray in Arizona. Arizona, though, a 6.5-point favorite at home. They barely skated by the Saints last week. Where are you going here?
I'm going Cardinals.
Okay.
Cardinals. I was against Bryce Young last week. I'm going to stick with my guns.
All right. I did not jump off the Panthers bandwagon. It was only 1 week, So I'm going to stay on the Panthers plus 6.5. Against this Cardinals team, it's just too many points to give up. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's just too bad it's going up at the same time that the Eagles and Chiefs are going off.
Yeah.
Eagles Chiefs is the next one, by the way. Philadelphia, a 1.5-point favorite in Kansas City.
Wow. I didn't see that.
I did.
Interesting.
Remember I told you last week the Kansas City Chiefs would not win the West.
Yeah. They're 0-1 now.
Mm.
Interesting.
I'm going Eagles minus 1.5. I'll make it easy on you. I like that defense too much. I saw what they did the last time they played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. This would be the first time in the Mahomes era that they've lost 3 games in a row. It's Super Bowl last year, game 1, and now game 2. Be the first time that's ever happened in the Mahomes era if it happens today.
I can't go with Mahomes a week after I said he wasn't the best quarterback in the league anymore. So I'm taking the Eagles.
Wow. All right, you're going Phil. I really thought you were going to go with Mahomes. All right.
Doubting Thomas. Eagles as long as nobody spits on Mahomes.
That's fair. That's a fair take.
And Jalen Carter did not get suspended a game for that.
Well, yeah, because they considered the game since he didn't play it down. They considered that his suspension. Interesting. All right, we got Falcons Vikings on Sunday Night Football instead of Eagles Chiefs, which I think is outrageous. So Falcons Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite.
God, Minnesota starts off 2-0, huh? I'm all over Minnesota. I don't think the Falcons. I don't think the Falcons are as good as people are saying they are, and they're not even. There ain't a lot of people saying they're all that great.
I don't think the Vikings are as good as people are saying they are. I think that they went up against a Bears team that let them back into the game. I don't think that they're as good. I think the Falcons defense is pretty damn good too. I'm going to take the Falcons. I'm going to take the 3.5 points. I think the Falcons win this one outright. All right, Monday Night Football doubleheader. Buccaneers Texans in Houston. Houston a 2.5-point favorite.
God, do I go against my Bucks?
I mean, I am. I'm going Houston minus 2.5.
Yeah.
I like
I
Houston.
don't see Houston going 0-2 either. I'm going Texans.
Egbuka looked good though for Tampa Bay last week. He really did. I like the way that they came back in that game. They never gave up, and Egbuka looked like the real deal. 2 touchdowns, 67 yards receiving. He looked pretty good. He looked like a good rapport with Baker already. All right, Chargers Raiders. Raiders are a 3.5-point favorite. Or I'm sorry, Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite in Las Vegas. I'm on the Chargers. I was on the Chargers before the season to win the AFC West. I think they're better than the Raiders. I think their defense is good enough to hold down Ashton Genty and Geno Smith and company. They looked good last week, though. The Raiders did, man, and so it's not. This isn't something that I'm not sweating out. I don't think it's going to be one of those cakewalk games for the Chargers, but I'm going to take the Chargers. I'll give up the points.
This will be my contrarian game. I'll take the Raiders.
Okay.
No other reason than Pete Carroll, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to piss people off, I guess.
All right, so there you go. There's all of our picks. You got our bets. You got our Bears stuff. Before we get out of here, before kickoff, and so that you can go hang out with Aiden and not watch football because you only do a podcast.
I'll be watching football.
I'm joking. It's a joke. All right. So we got the Cubs, man. Middle of a pennant race. It's September. You know, you lose that game. You're up 3-0 on Anthony Rizzo retirement day. He damn near catches a home run ball sitting in the booth.
Pretty cool.
Man, great moment, fantastic moment. But then you blow it. I still like this team. I don't think that they are a world beater, but I don't think anybody in the National League is right now. And they've got a lot of injuries right now. You've got Tucker's on the IL. You've had PCA dealing with injuries. You've got injuries at a pitching staff. You just lost your closer to an arm injury, which I don't know if is really much of a loss with the way he'd been pitching, but maybe he was having some issues with his arm previous to that as well. I'm not overly concerned, but I might not be overly concerned with this baseball team because I don't expect much out of them in October. Where are you with them?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really changed a whole lot. You know, I always knew PCA, a long season, young player. I knew that wasn't going. I think we both agreed on that he wasn't going to hit 45 home runs and bat 300. But good player to play, you know, had a much better season than I would have ever guessed. Just not. But the only way I disagree with you is that there is a team in the National League who's pretty damn good, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies. Actually, won 9 out of the last 10, hottest team in the league right now, maybe the best team in the entire MLB right now, top to bottom. Got a pretty good pitching staff. They can hit, man. I mean, I don't care where their numbers are, the runs they scored. I mean, that is a good balanced lineup. You know, they've gotten a couple of guys healthy. I mean, I really think they can make a run here. I just don't see the Cubs. I really think they need it. They were an ace away and maybe a better bullpen guy from really making a move here. And it's the first season they've gone over 83 wins. They just went over 83 wins. You know, we're only in mid-September though, but they just went over 83 wins. Yeah, they're a little better than they were last year, but man, you know, 3 years we've been at this with this team, and they're not going to take a giant step this year. That's, in a nutshell, that's being a Chicago fan right there.
Yeah.
Microcosm. That's being a Chicago fan. This team should have taken a giant step forward this year. I don't see that. I don't see a giant step forward if you're one first in the wild card. I think they had a successful season, yeah, but I just think this team needs an ace. I guess, yeah. Let's find it in the offseason.
It needs an ace. It needs another bat. I mean, it's the same team that we talked about preseason, and that we talked about again before the deadline, and we're talking about it again now. And they didn't go out and get any of that. Look, the National League is wide open though. That's the thing. Like it would not shock me whatsoever if we were watching the Cubs in the NLCS either, because I think every team in the National League is ripe for the pick, and I don't think that there is a team that is that far above and beyond everybody else, and not even the Milwaukee Brewers. It wouldn't shock me to see them in the World Series either, though. So I don't think anything in the what?
You don't believe in the Phillies?
Well, I mean, dude, they are ravaged with injury. They just put Trey Turner and Alec Boehm on the IL. Their pitching staff is depleted. So no, I mean they're susceptible too. They could still be good. I mean, they're another team that I would not be shocked to see in the World Series. That's why I said the National League is just wide open. And so it's going to be a wait and see, but I have no expectations for the Cubs in October. That's why I think it's easier for me to handle everything that's going on right now, is because after the trade deadline, I was kind of out. You know, it's not that I was out on the Cubs. I love this team. I love the Cubs. But I'm just out on the way that Jed continues to run this team like a coward. So that's what I'm out on. But we'll see, man. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting. Also fun to watch football and the Bears. And they're about to kick off with the Detroit Lions.
All right.
Watching Ben Johnson walk on the field, watching the Bears run onto the field. I'm excited, man. Final thoughts? I know you took the Detroit Lions on the spread, so I'm guessing you're taking the Detroit Lions money line. You think the Lions are winning this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, until the Bears show me something else, I've seen a lot of the same. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I hope you're wrong. I hope the Bears prove all of us wrong, and I hope Caleb Williams comes out and shuts us all up and was like, "Hey, idiots, it was week 1." I really hope I see that today.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, I don't
Not
want to
expecting it.
confuse that. It's just I have that hope out of it, that emotion out of it. But we'll see.
Yeah. No, I completely don't expect it. I expect to see some more growing pains, some oh my god moments again. We'll see, man. It's going to be fun. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. Enjoy the NFL. Till next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies.